Do you eat, sleep, dream about anything related to eye care?
So do we. This is See What We See with Lauren and Martin. My name's Lauren Cashin.
And I'm Martin Lebeau. We want to share anything that's cool about eye care.
We want you to see what we see. So sit back and enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome to the new episode of See What We See with Lauren and Martin. Hey Martin, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Lauren. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, thank you. So here we are, another episode. It's an interesting one. Well, let's just talk about it a little bit right now. So with pandemic, with online sales, with trying to get back into, just the flow of things, I think a lot of independents are looking for ways of really helping their business and also to obviously help their bottom line, because with a good bottom line, of course, you can provide great services for your patients. So a lot of people are looking into all these different programs that different companies are coming along with. So today we're going to talk about the EssilorLuxottica 360 program. Have you heard of it, Martin?
I did a little bit. My rep at Essilor did mention it to me when it first was introduced back in September. But I guess like most business owners, we're a little skeptical usually at first. We have a lot of questions and not knowing exactly what direction it was going. And let's be honest, Lauren, you've been a business owner for a couple of years yourself as well. How many times have we heard there's this new program, this new incentive coming up? We're like, oh, yeah, that sounds great, but really it does not deliver at the end of the day, right? So I guess my back is always a little up when I hear this brand new great thing again. I want to know more before I'm going to put my weight behind all of it or decide to sign up for anything nowadays. How do you feel about these things?
Well, I agree with you 100%. It's so true. Companies come along with programs. It's always about growth. Here, sign this deal, and you're going to, commit to growing your business with us by this much, and we're going to give you, bigger discounts and that. But you have to buy in. And you know what I've noticed over the years? Discounts are wonderful. Volume discounts are wonderful. Some of these programs are pretty good. But we go in all excited, and then it just loses its luster so fast because we're all busy and we're just taking care of patients, and it just goes by the wayside. So our discounts go up a bit, but we need to build our practices. We need more patients walking in the door so we can service them and sell them items. So I think that the way to go is more comprehensive programs. So it's not just better purchasing power, but drive patients into my practice. Show me how to make sure that I take care of them properly. Not that I want to be told how to run my business, because of course, after so many years, I think I know how to take care of patients, but I'm always willing to learn. So I think that if a new program is more comprehensive, I think it's going to be of a lot more value to us.
I honestly, I think you're 100% correct on that. You're so right? We get excited and then it kind of weans off a little bit and we'll always forget about it.
Yeah.
We need a fresh reminder a little bit once in a while, maybe. But especially, and you mentioned the pandemic earlier, as we're getting out of the pandemic, the consumer behavior has been very, very different now. People are pushed basically to online shopping more so than ever before. So we're going to have to find a way to bring them back to our office. And for them, yes, that's great that you're going to get some information online because it's a great tool to have, but you have to create that content as well. Not that easy. So again, if there's going to be a program or an incentive to work with a company that can create all these posts and drive business to your store and give you a bit of rebate on your frames, I think that could be a win-win situation.
Are you saying that maybe today we're going to talk about a specific program?
I think so. I think that's the goal, right? Maybe before we keep going right now, we should say today's episode is sponsored by EssilorLuxottica 360. And since we're there, Lauren, how about you introduce our guest for today?
Thank you, Martin. And it's my pleasure to welcome today our guests, Marc Dufresne and Ken Clark. So Marc, why don't we start with you? Why don't you tell us what your position is at Essilor and what you do?
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Marc Dufresne. I'm the Senior National Sales Director and customer service for eye care professional in Canada.
Oh, great. Thank you. And Ken, how about you? Can you tell us a little about yourself and why we're here today?
Sure. Thanks, Lauren, and thanks, Martin, for having us today. Yeah, I'm Ken Clark, and I'm the National Sales Director for EssilorLuxottica. Been on the independent channel for 32 years, and look after all the independent opticians and optometrists across Canada. So today, and I just wanted to say thank you to you guys for allowing us to discuss a new program that we have that's exciting to us, which is our EssilorLuxottica 360 program. So we really want to sort of dig deep into that and discuss sort of the benefits and why we did it. And one of the reasons why we looked at it in terms of building something is we didn't necessarily want to build a program that, we, provided more, rebates or discounts or benefits. We built the program around a survey that we had asked our partners across Canada to find out what was most important to their business. What were the things that they were looking for in terms of helping them grow, helping build stronger partnerships with us and with them, and how they could drive more traffic into their locations. We took that information and built the EssilorLuxottica 360 program, which I think that, from the response that we've had from the beginning, it's been very well received.
Wow, that's cool. And, Essilor and Luxottica, you guys are leaders, in lenses and frames. Your repertoire of products is just phenomenal. Martin, why don't you start? Why don't we ask a few questions?
Marc, Ken, thanks again very much for joining us today. It's great that you guys came on the podcast and we're able to chat to you about that new EssilorLuxottica 360 program. I mean, Lauren and I, we've been independent store owners for just a couple of years now. Over the years, we've seen programs being built like this, some very successful and some of them unfortunately fell short. How does the EssilorLuxottica 360 program designed to help opticians, and how does it help our customers? Marc, maybe we can start with you.
Yes. Okay, let's start with me. Sorry, I thought Ken would say a few words here, but I'll start. So, I mean, it's not a secret that both Essilor and Luxottica are now one team. We are reporting now to one president in Canada that is leading both teams. So it was only natural to build a program together. And we did spend a lot of time, and I think Ken mentioned it, and it's very important to really survey our customers to find out, where were the needs. And everything in that program, Martin, is built around 3 pillars. And on both sides, on the frame side and on the lenses side, I mean, those 3 pillars are playing a very important role in the development of the program. So the first pillar, and Ken, I'm going to leave you give more details, obviously, about the benefits in those 3 pillars, in each of those 3 pillars. But the first pillar is really to increase traffic, visibility, and capture rate into your practice. The second pillar is built around enhancing, patient experience, or a lot of emphasis on how we can train the optician and who's recommending frames and lenses better. And the third, and not the least, pillar is obviously to improve the practice profitability. So, like I said, on both sides, on the lenses side, we have our benefits that are relating to those 3 pillars. So before I go into the details of the Essilor benefits, maybe Ken, you want to add a few things on those 3 pillars?
Yeah, absolutely, Martin. Thank you. And just to add to what Marc is saying there is, definitely we wanted to build a program that really built stronger partnerships. And one of the things that, in terms of the knowledge that we gathered, from the independents, was, they wanted support on helping driving more traffic into the store. How can they market themselves and speak to that audience, to grow their business and increase their revenue? And one of the benefits that we brought out was PromoBox. PromoBox is a social media platform that is a marketing tool that basically markets themselves, to the social media customer. And we felt that that was important, or actually our customers felt it was important, because things have changed so much. And especially during COVID, when we think about COVID today, the shopping experience for the consumer changed. They weren't going to malls and shopping like they used to. But one of the things that they were doing is they were gathering more knowledge in terms of where to shop and where they could find the products that they wanted. And this is the platform in terms of the tool that we have, Promobox, that speaks to this audience. And when we look at this over the last 2 years, and especially during COVID, a lot of consumers spent a lot of time on social media, finding out, the products that they wanted and where they could get them. And this is something that we built into the program, not only to help drive customers into the store, but also raise the capture rate in terms of raising the revenue stream. And this was something that we had launched and put into the program. The other piece that we felt was important was looking at the consumer journey or the consumer experience in terms of once they get there, was Smart Shopper. Smart Shopper is a tool that the consumer and the independent can use to help customize products like Ray-Ban and Oakley, and really sort of change that shopping experience. It really is an endless aisle of product. Not every independent can carry everything in Ray-Ban or Oakley or some of the other brands. Smart Shopper allows the independent and the consumer to see a wide range of product, customized product, and something else that we added into the platform was virtual try-on. So even if the product wasn't in the location, Smart Shopper allows the consumer the virtual try-on option. And another piece that we added was digital screens. Digital screens really were the marketing pieces behind our national campaigns, that when the consumer does come in, they can see all the marketing, all the advertisement on the digital screens that we are supplying to all of our EL360 customers. So these are just some of the benefits in terms of it, because a lot of times, and just to sort of speak to what Martin was talking about earlier, programs, a lot of companies or a lot of programs have come and a lot of programs have gone. One of the things that we looked at and actually got the knowledge from is when we did our survey, discounts and higher rebates or commercial terms wasn't the number one priority. The number one priority for these programs was, how can you help my business grow? And it wasn't getting deeper discounts or cheaper prices on product. It was helping me grow my business. And this is one of the biggest reasons why we built this program with these benefits built into it.
Sounds great. The biggest problem we have when we think of our businesses is, how do we get people to walk in the door? There's online, there's just competition out there. It's just crazy today. So you mentioned Promobox. So is that where you provide some of the copy in that for us to individually promote our dispensaries online and through social media? And then my second part of the question is Essilor have any plans on direct public advertising, direct to the public? So you're helping us reach out, but are you doing it on your own also to drive people into the overall market?
Yeah. In terms of Promobox, Lauren, really how this tool works is it's a social media tool, but we take all the campaigns and all the marketing in terms of all of the brands that we have, and we can immediately send all these messages out through social media so that the consumer that has, Instagram and some of the other social media platforms that they use, right away that location is linked to these brands with the latest and greatest, I'll say, in terms of marketing campaigns. And this right away is the information that the consumer is looking for. In terms of that, this helps sort of build that marketing campaign in terms of social media, because we also saw over the last couple of years the amount of people that are gathering knowledge, gathering intel through social media has absolutely skyrocketed. And one of the biggest questions that we always asked our independents is this audience that is growing rapidly in terms of getting their information through social media, how are you as an independent speaking to this audience? And that was one of the biggest things in terms of the feedback that we got is, again, how can you help me grow? And this is the tool to speak to these consumers.
I was just going to add, Lauren, to your question. We do have what we call the prioritized store locator. So if a consumer in your region is looking for any products related to eye care and you're part of this program, the name of your practice is going to go and be the first one on the list of all other practices. And every time a business consultant is visiting you, you would be able to know how many saw your name in the last month. So that's very convenient. And the stat are, I don't want to go into details of the stats too much, but the stats are telling us that it increases the visibility by 4 if you're part of this program to be on the top of those list.
I see. Oh, that's cool. So are there any other, as current Essilor and Luxottica vendors, customers, are we part of any locators, or you would have to be part of this program? And or is it both? But if you're part of the program, like you said, we end up at the top of the list.
So you're part of the store locator on our Essilor Canada website, as well as All About Vision as well. So that's a given. All practices in Canada are visible on those store locator. But if you're part of this program, you're come up there prioritized in all of those search engine.
Great, cool, thank you.
I mean, from what I'm hearing right now, from what you guys are telling us, is that independent owners like myself, that's probably not the best at social media and advertising online, is that you guys are taking care of this. You guys taking weight off my shoulder to promote my business. Is that what I'm getting right? Are you guys like providing us the posts and everything else? You guys are doing all that. Do we get the pick? But to me, right now, it sounds awesome. That's a lot less work for me to do during the week to post stuff online.
Yeah, well, we're providing all the content. We're also providing the ease and convenience on how to do it. So one of the things too is when the content is there, right? It's all of EssilorLuxottica's content in terms of all the brands that we have. Plus, there's a little write-up about all the new releases and all the excitement behind, you know, the brand story, the product story, and all that. We also show you how to do it in terms of you can manage this yourself. It literally, you can change your whole marketing campaign daily within less than 5 minutes. So once we, get you signed up, show you how to work Promo Box, you get to see all the different campaigns with all the different brands that you carry. Plus you can change that campaign every day, and it takes less than 5 minutes to do it. So it has that feeling of freshness all the time in terms of the audience that you speak to through your social media platform.
That sounds fantastic. From my point of view right now, like I was mentioning earlier, I'm no social media guru. I mean, I have LinkedIn, I have Facebook. I'm presuming that's on Instagram. It's on everything, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And you bring up a good point because, even for myself, like I'm not a social media guru either. But one of the things that we did see in terms of marketing is the consumer is reaching out to social media platforms to get their information. There's still a need for, other types of marketing, but digital media is growing rapidly. And the biggest thing that we looked at is how can we speak to this audience? Number one. Number two, how can we help our independents connect with that consumer? Number three, how can we make sure that the messages that we are sending out are fresh, are talking about the brands, and can be updated whenever the independent wants to do it? The platform is that easy. once we demonstrate how it works.
I'm going to throw another number at you, Martin.
Go for it,
But
please do.
Our source is telling us that 90%, so a large majority of consumers use social media to help their buying decision for both where to shop and what to buy. So 90%, I mean, we can challenge the source, but it's always in the 80s for sure.
I mean, I see it at home. I mean, my daughter's 16. She's on that thing all the time. Even my staff at the office, the younger generation. I mean, that's how they do things. And it's great. I mean, it definitely beats us meeting with, and I don't want to say anything bad about this, but with the Yellow Pages guy once a year and making sure we get the ad in the book, right? And I'm sure that's a lot better for everybody that way.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's interesting with that, and just to add to, you know, what Marc is saying, of course, the 90%, and it's true in terms of the information we're gathering, the average consumer is spending 3 hours a day on social media. And can you imagine that every day you've freshened up your social media platform, you've sent out fresh marketing and ads, and they're seeing it every day. And you're connecting to that consumer, you're speaking to that consumer. That's helping drive traffic into your store. And then we talk about how do we raise the capture rate? How do we make sure that the people that do come into your location, they stay, they shop, and we help them raise the revenue stream. And that's part and parcel of this whole program. Is it's all about enhancing our partnerships with the independents.
So the other part of it is, I noticed there's a lot of education involved that you like you said, drive them in, but we have to capture them and make the sale or educate the patient and, you know, build their trust in that. So I know you have a lot of education. Leonardo is a platform that I've seen. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about Leonardo?
Yeah, absolutely, Lauren. Is one of the things too that we feel is important is to exactly what you're saying is education, right? It's not only just about driving the customers in the door or having a great selection of the product, right? We also want to make sure that we help support and train the independents in terms of the staff, the opticians, everybody in there. Leonardo is the best platform in North America for helping educate all about all of our brands in terms of the brand stories, product stories. As new releases come out, you can learn everything about the product and why we did this in regards to lenses. It has a lot of programs in terms of insights into how the market is changing, talks about sunglasses. It absolutely has a plethora of tons of knowledge, tons of information. A lot of the courses are CE accredited and COPIA approved. So as you learn and get educated, it also helps you in terms of your credits for your license, which is a benefit also. And we do have courses that are on video as well. So, you know, overall, Leonardo, in terms of a platform, it's another piece of partnering with the independent in terms of we want to help you grow. We want to give you more information. We want to give you more knowledge. And we really want to enhance that experience for you and for the patient in terms of the reasons why they want to shop at your location.
Cool. Yeah, it's true, because you got to build confidence. You have to have the education and knowledge to do it. You said it's independents. Is it only available to independents, or will any of the, because, you know, we're talking to all our optician friends out there. So is this available to any of the chain stores, or is this just focused on independents, Marc?
Focus on independent, absolutely. And I don't want to throw another number as of right now, but we just, I want to come back to training, because Leonardo is definitely a great platform, but we also have our live event training with the members of this program. We just had one in November in Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, and we're really taking advantage of those one full day event to train the members on our product innovations, but also on The last one was on specifically on how to truly leverage digital, Martin. So that would have been good for you. So a lot of good tips given on how to leverage social media, and also how to create the wow effect in this highly competitive and changing market. You know, how would you differentiate yourself, you know, with your consumers, right? So it's the title of that conference was how to create that wow effect once your patient is walking into your practice. So a lot of training events. So Leonardo, those one-day events, and also on our side, on the lenses side, you've got the Essilor Academy team with 39 modules on products, how to improve selling on certain offers. So a lot of trainings available in that EssilorLuxottica 360 program.
I mean, that's great. That sounds like a lot of resources, basically, for independent opticians out there. And I mean, we all know we could use them all, especially when they're easily available like this. I mean, the program now, the EssilorLuxottica program 360, is what, about 6 months old now, right? Am I correct, gentlemen?
We launched it September 15 of last year.
Okay, so we're almost there. I'm sure a lot of people are already part of the program. And how's it going for these guys so far? What's the feedback that you're getting? Because we're talking about numbers, we're talking about data. Everybody likes data nowadays. Now we want to know, what are they saying?
Well, I think, you know, in terms of our launch since September 15th, the feedback has been very positive. Because one of the things that we wanted to look at too with a program like this is it is a long-term program. It's a long-term partnership. It wasn't something that we necessarily built going back to, okay, we can give you bigger discounts or anything like that. We really want to help and support the independents grow. So since we've launched it, you know, we've been putting a lot of these things in place in terms of digital screens, getting people trained on promo box, smart shopper, which, by the way, you know, once we get everybody to, you know, compliance and things on getting them enrolled into the program and getting it all set in terms of how it works, you know, we provide everybody an iPad to make sure that when they're using Smart Shopper, they have the iPad, they have the endless aisle in terms of Smart Shopper and all the different products that are available that they might not carry. So overall, I would say that the program is, you know, exceeding, you know, our customers' expectations, exceeding our expectations in terms of building that stronger partnership. The market's changed. You know, the consumers have so many different more options to shop at. Is when we look at the independent business, we really want to help and support them, but we want to help and support them, you know, with different types of tools. We want to help and support them with Leonardo in terms of education and really ramping up that experience that when the consumer does come in, they're working with a very knowledgeable staff that knows everything about, you know, the product, everything about the brand. And, you know, we feel so far in terms of the feedback that we've gotten, it's been very positive.
So that's great. There's so many different tools here. And I'm really think it's cool that it's not just about pricing, because you're right. Historically, companies have come to us and said, buy 5 of our logos and we'll give you this discount, that discount. And that's wonderful because we all like to, you know, increase our margin. So hopefully there's some of that built in. But we've all realized in our practices, price isn't always the issue with our patients. You mentioned earlier, differentiating yourself. And let's be honest, product, we all can get the same products. It's what we do with the product and how we handle our patients. So it's really important that the training is there. But I have to admit that over the years, people come out with programs and you just said all this stuff. You got Leonardo, you've got all these different things, and you know, the social media stuff. So problem I find is that I get all excited about it and you give me all this stuff, and the first month or so I work on it, and then I kind of let it go by the wayside. So are we just getting all this stuff thrown at us, or do we still actually get to deal with a human being helping us with all this?
So can use the word partnership, Lauren, and for us, this is very important. So, you know, when I've mentioned differentiate ourselves, we don't want to be suppliers, we want to be partners. And that's very important in that journey. And so the business consultants on both frames and lenses will visit, the EL360 or EssilorLuxottica 360 members more often. They will be working on how to make the business on both sides better with all those tools, because there's a lot of other tools that we haven't talked about, but to help the opticians to better recommend some of the products available, again, on both sides. So yes, the human component, Lauren, is extremely important for us. You become VIP as far as the number of visits you would be getting from our business consultants. And I'm going to say again, on both sides.
Yep. And just to add what, Marc is saying there, because that was an important piece for us also, is because really when we look at this program, the EssilorLuxottica 360, it really is a creme de la creme type of program, because it speaks to so many different things in terms of helping, build that partnership. One of the things that we also did, and we've got it in place now as of January, we invested into 3 business development managers that are going to be, owning and looking after the EL360 customers. That is specifically their role, to make sure that the partnership continually grows and is enhanced. So one of the things that, with all the other things in terms of the support, we also wanted to look at how can we help from a business standpoint. Is the business development managers, and we call them the BDMs, is they're going to be doing quarterly business reviews with every single EL360 customer. And those reviews really are about helping, supporting the customer, seeing the areas that they're having success with in terms of the independent, seeing areas that are a bit challenged, and also looking at areas of opportunity where the market is growing or shifting, and really helping in terms of the information and the analytics to make solid business decisions to help their business, to help the independent's business. And this is something that we really recognize too. It's not just a program. We also want to invest in terms of our people. And to also add into what Marc is saying, which I think is absolutely key, one of the things that we spent a lot of time on before launching this program was really educating all of our people in terms of the EssilorLuxottica team across Canada, the sales consultants, the managers, in terms of why we did the program, what this program is about, and really raising up and ramping up that service level for the independents that become part of this program.
That's wonderful, gentlemen. That's a lot of information that you're giving us. I mean, for our independent opticians that are listening right now, if they want to become a partner of and be part of the EssilorLuxottica 360 program, how do they get started? You just give a quick phone call? What do you have to do to be part of this project?
So definitely contact our business consultant. I mean, all of our business consultants and BDMs on the Luxottica side are very well aware of the program. And so between the two teams, we have a strong, I'm going to say, process to make sure that we're explaining well the details, because we have said a lot, Martin, but there's still a lot of things we need to mention about the benefits that both sides are offering. So reach out to our business consultant, and we will definitely be visiting and give the opticians more information on the benefits on both sides.
That's perfect. Thank you. And is EssilorLuxottica 360 only available for Canadians? Because we found out recently that we're getting more and more listeners from United States and Europe. Do they have similar program over there, or?
In the United States, we do have the EssilorLuxottica 360 program, not yet available in Europe, but will be for sure in the next year.
Okay, so yeah, our listeners from outside of Canada, stay tuned. It's coming up soon.
It's coming.
So I got to ask a question, because speaking of getting involved in that, is this a program that fits for any size practice, or is it a big buy-in? So if I had a very small practice, can I afford to jump into this, or is there different levels to jump in? Because obviously it's all about growth too. So is it available to everybody? And do I have to go get a bank loan to get involved in this, to stock my shelves with all those great brands you've got on frames? And how does it work?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Lauren. I mean, it is available to everybody. I mean, we do have sort of level 1 and level 2 in terms of how the program works. But we also have what we call the sign up piece of it. Is we know it's a journey in terms of being getting to level 1 and to level 2. In terms of the journey, we have allowed customers or built into the program, a very easy way to build up to get to level 1, and an easy way also in terms of getting to level 2. Any practice can join. We've also added special commercial terms in terms of what we call the Jumpstart program to help customers, if they want to join, invest into this program that makes sense to them in terms of putting the right product and the right brands and selection and assortment on the board in the dispensary. And we've made this program very attractive from a rebate standpoint, is to make sure that this is something that they can travel down the journey. But one of the things that I think is really important to this is, and you bring up a good point, Lauren, is when we look at the market today, when we look at the consumer today, we look at people's shopping habits and how they make purchases. The biggest piece again is what is important to them. And when we look at the benefits that are into this program, this is the really big piece to look at. How is this going to help my business? And how is this really going to, grow my business and develop a stronger, patient base? And I think that this is, why we built the program. Is it expensive to get into it? There is an investment. There definitely is an investment to get into it, but it's really about partnership and all the different things that we have available to help you as an independent. And if that's important, which the feedback that we're getting it is, then I think that this is going to be a great program for a lot of independents across Canada. One of the things that we also built in also is once we get to level 1 or level 2, we have what's called the concierge program. And what that is when you call us and you need support on whether it's a warranty or a credit issue or anything that you need from us in terms of helping support you, the concierge program, the person behind the phone immediately picks up that phone and talks to you right away. You're not put on hold. You're not put on, an answering machine where you got to press a bunch of buttons or get to a different department. This one person takes care of all of your needs for you, regardless of whatever they are. And that's part and parcel also, because this is important. People are busy and they need their issues resolved quickly.
So again, support, lots of support.
Lots of support, Lauren.
Well, those are some of the key words that I've learned so far: support and partnership. And I think that's what a lot of independents are looking for. That's the hardest thing to get nowadays. So yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. How can our listeners get more information? You guys have a website that you can go and visit or anything like that, or they should just call their rep?
They can reach out to any of our sales consultants, from the Essilor side, from the Luxottica side. They can reach out to our managers. They can reach out to Marc and I. And definitely we can set up an appointment to go through the program with everybody. It's as easy as that. And I'll pass it over to Marc too. You might have some more information.
No, I think you said it well, Ken. I mean, we have business consultants over everywhere in Canada and all the provinces. So that's definitely the easiest way. And if some of your opticians don't know their business consultants or don't have currently a business consultant visiting, they call our 1-800 line, and we will definitely forward the message to a business consultant in their respective region.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. We'll make sure that when we release the podcast as well, that we'll put that information, the website, the 1-800 number, so people can contact you. Before we let you go, gentlemen, parting words. Marc, will you go first? Put you on the spot a little bit.
Yeah. And again, I'm going to throw another number because I really like numbers, and I think the numbers are really the return on investment from your opticians on this, journey. The See More, Do More media campaign with Varilux was seen by 5 million Canadian in the last year. And in most of those advertising, we had a message at the end directing the consumers to those EL360 and Essilor Expert Practice. So the return on investment, and again, I'm going to come back to your question earlier, is it what the customers are saying after 4 months and a half post-launch. It's still very early, but so far the overall word is it's working. I'm increasing my sales. I don't want to talk about sales too much, Martin and Lauren, but it's what you do, right? And so we are keeping a close look as how it works. And it does work. So the return on investment right now works on both sides. I'm going to say frames and lenses for sure.
Pretty informative discussion, eh, Martin?
It is. But hold on. Ken still has to give us parting words before, words of wisdom.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Martin. I mean, I think when I look at, my own personal journey over the last 32 years with Luxottica and a lot of different programs and a lot of different changes in the market is, the last 2 years, we've seen unprecedented, changes and things that we, definitely didn't have any experience with because of COVID and everything else. And I think one of the biggest things that when we look at, this merger and leveraging Essilor and Luxottica together, two global companies with a lot of, different knowledge and things to really bring to the market. The biggest thing that, we really want to make sure that we get across with our partners is we want to support the independents. We want to help the independents grow. And when we look at this program, we got the information not from us, but from the survey that we took across Canada to get information, what was important to the independent. And this is really what this program is all about. And I think that, yes, there's probably some stuff that we still, need to look at and possibly fine tune. But I think the program so far in terms of the feedback has been very well received, and looking forward to continuing to help partner with the independents across Canada. So thank you, Martin, and thank you, Lauren, for your time today. Very much appreciated.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming out. I also want to mention thank you to Essilor and Luxottica for your support of our profession, because that's what we're here for, our association. And Essilor and Luxottica, thank you for sponsoring today's podcast. Take care and be safe. Martin, you got something you want to say?
Well, yeah, I mean, Marc, Ken, thank you very much for joining us today. Really appreciate that. And there's a couple of conventions coming up. Hopefully we get to see you over there, either New York or Inside Optics coming up in early April. Thanks again, gentlemen.
Definitely. Thanks to you, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Well, Martin, that was certainly an eye-opener.
Pun intended, I'm presuming.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to learn more about these programs. Well, we did learn today that with the Essilor Luxottica 360, I think a key word to take away from that is partners. I think they're looking to partner with us to help us with our practices.
Yeah, and I think that's key. I mean, business owners want to have a say in what they're going to get themselves into. Like we spoke at the beginning of the podcast, a lot of people, they've signed on to these programs in the past and they were told what to do. Business owners don't like that when you come to their stores and tell them what to do. And being a partner with a large corporation like Essilor Luxottica can produce a winning strategy at the end.
Yeah, and I think what differentiates this program from others I've seen is that it's very comprehensive. It's everything from driving people into our practices with advertising and social media. And the social media, from what I understood, was that they will be posting social media, but they'll also give us the tools and the copy for us to do more personalized from our own practices and get it out there on social media.
And I think that's great. I think a lot of people will find this very, very useful at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, that was EssilorLuxottica, great sponsors of our profession. They're great partners with the Ontario Opticians Association, which we thank them. And we thank them for participating in today's episode. Martin,
Absolutely.
it was great to work with you again.
For sure. But yeah, thanks again to Marc and Ken from EssilorLuxottica. Thanks for coming on board, gentlemen. Lauren, always a pleasure as usual. Looking forward to the next one already. Everybody, stay tuned for the next episode of See What We See with Lauren and Martin. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you for listening to See What We See. This podcast is brought to you by the Ontario Opticians Association. For more information or to become a member, go to our website at www.ontario-opticians.com. For all the latest updates, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Ontario Opticians Association, on Twitter, OOA_frontline, and on LinkedIn, Ontario-Opticians-Association. Don't miss an episode of See What We See and subscribe to this podcast on your favorite streaming service. Thank you from the Ontario Opticians Association, the voice of opticians for 75 years.